Alright, so we're heading through Osceola National Forest here, and the plan is today that we're going to meet up with the Sunshine State Vikings. They're not due into camp until about 8 o'clock tonight, but we're going to make our way over to Hog Pen Landing on Ocean Pond here in Osceola. Try to see if we can find a site. It's first come, first serve, so we don't know what we're getting into. We'll see if we can find a site, and I hear there's some beautiful sites right on the water, so fingers crossed about that. But we're just kind of sticking to the main roads right now, just trying to get to the campground, see what we can't get settled, and anxiously await for their arrival. And then from there, the plan is to go hit some trails in the following days and see if we can find some more dispersed campsites away from everybody and see what trouble we can't get to on the trails. But right now we're just enjoying the main passageway of Osceola here, and it's quite beautiful. But yeah, we're going to meet up with Sunshine State Vikings later tonight. We'll have dinner ready for them so they can just park after the long drive and get a full belly, and we'll hang out by the fire and plan the following day's activities. So stay tuned. We'll take you guys along for all that, but man, we're so excited to be able to share this adventure. We just firmly believe that adventure is better shared. So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys when we pick back up. All right, we did it. We made it to camp. We found an awesome campsite. It is right on the water. I don't know if you can see that behind me, but man, this is gorgeous, and we're kind of just waiting for the sun to go down. And we got a fire going, set up the tent. We're just kind of getting camp set up right now. We're still waiting for Zach and his wife and his couple dogs to kind of arrive at camp here. And once they get here, we're gonna get some burgers going and just have a good time and meet back up. We haven't talked since Southeast Overland Expo, and it'll be good to have some good fellowship, have some good friendship, and have some good discussions, and just kind of hang around the campfire and have some fun. But until then, we're gonna get the hammock set up and get Nora practicing on the ferro rod, get her working on her fire starting skills, and I think we're just gonna enjoy the campsite. And there she is working on her fire skills. We got a fire going in the solo stove today just because of how windy it is here, and there's no real fire ring. So we want to just make sure that we do this safely and not create a forest fire, because apparently that's bad. They frown on that here. But man, let's check out what we got going on behind us, right? I'll get you some better B-roll here in a minute, but it is absolutely gorgeous over there. We got some purple flowers in the background, crest right up to the water. Hopefully no alligators try to get us. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but there's a little buggy here. But like I said, camp is set. We're gonna just hang out and wait, and yeah, bring you guys along for the ride. Got the wife sitting by the fire enjoying a good book. Girls are playing some cards up in the tent. Everyone's just getting some much needed wilderness time, and I think that's really good for the soul here. We had a long time coming before we could get back out and go on some adventure, and this weekend was a perfect mix for that. The weather's going to be gorgeous. Small chance of rain tomorrow, but today it peaked out at about 81 degrees, and now the sun's going down and the breeze is coming through. It is super cool. Not chilly, but super comfortable, and it's going to be a really pleasant night. I think not too windy. It's not going to blow the tent around, but we will get a nice breeze going through there, so that'll be awesome. Hey, so sun's starting to go down, but I want to talk about a new piece of gear that we brought. We brought along an outdoor bathroom for the first time ever. No more squatting in the woods for us. So we're going to do a full review on that once we figure out if we like it or not. But yeah, both Amazon purchases. We'll link them in the comments below. But in here, and I don't want to ruin the surprise for you guys, but in here is a toilet with some composting bags, and we're trying to be really clean and eco-friendly with it. But we also got the pop-up changing room tent off Amazon. Ultimately, the goal is to get the CVT shower tent. We got some plans coming for how that's all going to look, but for the time being, this gets us a portable toilet for relatively low money, and allows us to be a little bit more humane in how we do our business while we're out on the trail. So, thought you might be interested. I don't know. We'll see. Y'all, I don't know if I mentioned it, but we are at Hog Pen Landing. It's a first come, first serve, primitive style campsites. So this is night one. Like I said in the intro, the plan is for Sunshine State Overland to come meet us, and they're about probably less than an hour out, less than half hour out actually. But we're in a pretty decent sized campsite. These campsites are kind of hit or miss, but night one will be in this campsite, this primitive style campsite right on the water. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous campsite. We're gonna get dinner started here in a couple minutes, but waiting for them to meet up. We'll get dinner, we'll get burgers on for them, so they have some food in their bellies as soon as they park, and then we can just sit around the fire and chat it up and catch up, which is gonna be awesome. Looking forward to that. But yeah, this is right on Ocean Pond. It's kind of breezy today, so hopefully the wind isn't too bad in the microphone for you guys, and tried to fly the drone a little bit, so we'll see what kind of footage I get, but it was getting pushed around quite a bit by the wind. So in order to stay safe, we landed it for now, but yeah, I'll kind of walk you through some of the stuff that we got going on and some of the gear that we brought. I showed you the portable bathroom. That's gonna be a nice addition, a little bit cleaner for us and a little bit more enjoyable for the girls. All right, so just got a text message. They're about 20 minutes out. So we're gonna go ahead and get the burgers going for them. So I keep saying it, so they have a good meal when they get here. They did a good chunk of driving on the highway, and then they hit the dirt roads to try to get in here. So let's make sure we feed them good, give them some good hospitality as they get the tent set up and get their camp set up. And so I'm gonna go ahead and throw burgers on the grill tonight. Super easy, really basic meal, but just a good way to. It's a good yummy meal. It's one of Nora's favorite meals, so it'll be a good way to cap tonight off with a good dinner, and then we'll just we'll sit around the fire and chat it up.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, good morning. The sun's coming up over Ocean Pond here, and it's a little mosquito-y, but just a super beautiful morning. The breeze is still blowing, so it's a little cool, but it's gonna get pretty warm today. We're gonna hit some trails. So right now we're waiting on coffee. Zach and Tracy came in about 8 o'clock last night, and we get some coffee brewing, get some breakfast going. We'll pack up camp here, and then we'll go hit the trails and see what kind of dispersed camping we can get into, and see if we can't get away from where the people are. Yeah, last night was great. We just had a chance to just sit down and have some good discussions around the campfire and just catch up with each other. It's really nice seeing them. But we're going to go ahead and get breakfast going. Like I said, we're going to get some coffee, pack up camp, and see what kind of trouble and some kind of adventures we can get into today. All right, girls have had their breakfast. Chef Zach over there is cooking up some Monte Cristos for us, and that's gonna be pretty amazing. I'll take you over there in a second to check those out. But after a day just getting covered in dust and insect repellent and stuff like that, it felt good to get cleaned up. And kind of one of the ways that we like to do that on the trail is with body wipes. And at the expo, we found these Venture wipes. They're big 12 by 12, unscented, basically giant baby wipes, but with aloe in them, and they're really nice. And it's a local company. They're based out of Green Cove in Florida, so it's always good to support those guys. But I just wanted to hit on that and just how impressed we were with those, and how refreshing and cleaned up we felt. Now that I'm clean, I'm going to go ahead and cover myself again in insect repellent, because these mosquitoes are pretty horrendous. All right, Zach, what are you cooking for us this morning?
All right, so we have Monte Cristos. Essentially, it's a French toast and sweet cheese grilled cheese sandwich with some ham and turkey. They're just killer camping breakfast meals because you can also just pack up the leftovers like a grilled cheese sandwich and just stuff it in the cooler afterwards. But there's a lot of stuff going on. You've got the meats, you've got the French toast outer of the bread, and then you've got all the sweet cheeses melting together with some jam inside as well.
This is gonna be so good.
A lot of flavors.
Did your timber
Oh
doodle
man,
pick
check
come
that
with,
out.
Other than gravity.
All right, it's about 10 o'clock. Zach blessed us with an amazing breakfast of Monte Cristos, and oh man, how blessed we are to be able to have that. And so we're gonna start packing up here in a minute and get hitting the trail here shortly. But yeah, so the plan is today is to leave the site, head out to the trails, do some wheeling, see what kind of trouble we can't get into, and then find a dispersed campsite and we'll just enjoy the rest of the evening around the campfire, and we'll have some good dinner tonight, and we'll take you along for all that ride. But yeah, so without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and start getting packed up and head on out of here for stop number 2. Trucks are packed, tires are aired down. We're gonna have a quick driver's meeting, and then we are going to plan our route through the woods here and have some fun. Then we're gonna take off and go hit some trails, see if we can get some muddy, some water crossings. We're not gonna get in any trouble. We're gonna try to stay out of trouble per my wife's request. A whole bunch of water crossings. Yeah, right here.
More up north?
Yeah, so you can get there from here up in it's a rough impassable bay. So it's FR, looks like 212 maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Is considered the water park.
So do we want to go up, over, down 212 and then see about what we find up in this area?
Yeah, we can do that.
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot drier than I've seen Osceola before. And the main trail coming in, I know, is super dusty, so we're just going to want to be safe distance because it's going to be, from what I think we're going to run into, it's going to be pretty low visibility for some of that. And then we get on some of the tighter trails, we'll just run into some water and we'll just like gauge it like we think.
Yep.
I've got the water boots, I've got the waders. I think we have plenty of recovery. I'm going to check the winch, make sure we're good there.
Okay.
I think we've got plenty of clearance. And then hopefully we can find a campsite for tonight because this campsite here is beautiful and all that, but it'd be nice to be absolutely secluded. So we'll see if we can find anything. I've got a simple little radio here for you and some backup batteries.
Sweet, appreciate that. Hey, so as beautiful as this campsite is, it's in an amazing location. We have an amazing view of Ocean Pond behind us. The breeze is blowing through, not a cloud in the sky. I have one issue with it, and that's there's a ton of trash on the ground, and I know how we're going to handle that, and I know what we're going to do. And if you follow the channel for any length of time, you know exactly what we're going to do. We're going to walk around and try to pick up as much as possible. If you are one of those people that leaves trash on the ground and doesn't throw it in a trash bag, please stop. Please don't be one of those people. Also, I encourage you that when you come out to these campsites and if you find them trash like that, don't leave it like that. Leave it better than you found it, and that's kind of our motto for all of this is leave no trace, leave only footprints, leave it better than you found it. And I think that that can go a long way. So we're going to go through, we're going to pick up trash like we normally do, but man, it is just, it's kind of disappointing with how poorly people treat what an amazing resource this is. man, we're having an incredible time just picking our way through some of these tighter trails and some really awesome water crossings and some little mud pits and that are really fun to explore. And these trails are pretty tight. We decided to stop off and we're gonna grab some lunch and try to come up with a game plan of what the rest of today looks like. And we're gonna see if we can't find a primitive campsite and explore some of these other trails out here in Osceola. Behind us is some honey beehives, and they're pretty loud. I don't know if you guys are able to hear that on the mic, but I'll get a little closer for you guys. But bombing around, picking through some pretty awesome trails, just having a fantastic time with Sunshine State Vikings and Zach and his wife Tracy and his 2 dogs. And it's just an incredible day, and we're gonna grab some lunch and we'll take you along for that as well.
like me to keep recording?
Oh man, after an incredible day of wheeling, we finally found the perfect campsite. So we left Ocean Pond this morning. We hit the trails for about just about 4.5 hours, and I think we covered close to 22 miles. I'm not sure, but I bet you can tell from the footage that we had an incredible time. It is beautiful up here. Osceola is known for its wetness and its swamps, and we've had a little bit of a dry season, so it hasn't been too bad, but just the terrain and the trails have been phenomenal. We had the one little snafu where it kind of almost got stuck, but we worked it out, we got out. And horseflies up here are pretty substantial. But had we not gotten ourselves out, Zach from Sunshine State Vikings would have for sure gotten us out.
Hello.
So, yep, we got out of that. We went down some of the other trails and kind of explored around. And man, it is just incredible out here. It's so beautiful. The trails were muddy and slippery, and some cool water crossings, and just stuff that we're not used to getting down in about an hour away back home. So it was fun to just get down here and kind of see the level of trails that they have in Osceola, which is really just an hour away from the house, and so it's super obtainable. You're going to see more footage at Osceola. We've just barely touched the surface, broken the iceberg in a sense. So we are going to come back here and kind of explore some of the other trails around here because there's just so much to see, and so cool terrain down here. But camp is set, fire is set, and I'll kind of show you guys around the campsite here in a minute, but it is just absolutely gorgeous. We're going to get dinner going here shortly, have some conversations with Sunshine State Vikings, and if you haven't checked out their channel, first of all, I don't know why you haven't checked out their channel, but I will link it in the description below. Make sure you head over there, like, subscribe with those guys. Phenomenal husband and wife content creators that just give a unique and interesting perspective into their off-road journey. And so I would definitely check them out. Like I said, this has been a phenomenal trip, and I'm just so blessed, so thankful that we got to share it with Zach and Tracy from Sunshine State Vikings, and we're just really blessed that they invited us out on this adventure, and it's been quite the adventure, much needed. But without further ado, we're gonna start making some dinner. Sun is going down, and we just filled our bellies with some what we call cowboy casserole. It's actually like a taco casserole. It's like taco rice. It's got some black beans, some taco meat in there, white rice, some salsa. We use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream just so we're not so fat. But you can add some salsa to it. There's some cheese on top. It's super delicious, super good. We made it in the Dutch oven. We introduced it to Zach and Tracy. They seemed to enjoy it. Full disclosure, I may have burnt the rice on the bottom a little bit, but no complaints were noted, so I apologize publicly for that. But now Kaylin and Piper are whipping up some apple cinnamon cake in the Dutch oven that we're all super excited for. We're anxious to try that. We're using Sprite, which is something I'm not familiar with using in a cake, so we'll see how this turns out. But it already looks and smells delicious, and it's going to be so good, and a good way to cap off the evening.
I like pouring the cake mixture.
Pour that on top of the apples.
And cinnamon.
And cinnamon. 2 hands?
Nope. 1 hand.
Okay.
A hand or enough.
Sprinkle some there. Gently mix. 3/4 of a can of Sprite. How much? 12-ounce can of Sprite.
I think this one's probably fine.
This is 7.5. So I'll.
No, guess what? We're adding Sprite to the second one.
Careful with that thing.
7.5.
Oh my gosh, why are you adding Sprite to it?
Because why not?
It says that's Sprite.
Has the carbonation to get the bubbles?
it's just one can. Oh, can I mix?
Yes, please. Mommy's gonna open another can and put some of it in there.
We're gonna work and drink the rest.
Yep.
All right, so we're in the tent for the night. The mosquitoes kind of drove us away from the fire pit. They're pretty heavy after the sun goes down and the breeze stops. They come out with some vengeance. So we decided to save the torture and the misery and kind of retire for the tent, which is just fine. We had a pretty long day of wheeling and chasing some pretty cool trails. So we decided to kind of retire a little early, hit the hay here, and we'll get an early start in the morning and crush some delicious breakfast, I'm sure, and have some coffee, maybe start another fire, and just kind of recap and recalibrate and see what the rest of tomorrow brings. But until then, we are going to kill the lights here and start the little Ryobi fan, get a breeze going, and just get some really, really good night's rest. See you guys in the morning.
In your forehead, sweet girl. I'm sorry.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
I
Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is morning number 2. Yep, morning number 2 out on the trail. And I'll tell you what, adventure is better shared. It really is. Zach blessed us again this morning with a cup of coffee coming right out of the tent, and man, just something about waking up on a fresh cup of coffee out in the woods is just good for the soul, I think. So today's plan is to kind of sit around the fire, enjoy some breakfast, enjoy some coffee, finish some conversations that we weren't able to finish last night due to the mosquito problem, and then we're gonna start packing up and just kind of moseying our way out of here. We got to call it the end of the trip here soon, and we all got to head back to our real lives and go to work tomorrow. So just taking the opportunity to kind of enjoy the last day out here, probably hit some trails on the way out, or maybe just take the main road down. I'm not sure, but man, last night was an amazing set of trails that we decided to venture up on the northern part of Osceola, and I'm so glad we did that. That last little loop we did, and it was just an incredible experience, and I think it was good for Kaylin and I to kind of build our experience level doing this, and Zach and Tracy were just so patient with us, and have really been some fantastic friends, and I'm glad that we met them, and I'm glad that this turned into something, and hopefully we get together again. That is hard to say. Hopefully we get together again and do this on multiple occasions, because it's just been an incredible experience, and we're super blessed to be able to do things like this and take the girls out and show them what it's like to kind of chase adventure and explore the world around you, and just kind of enjoy the peacefulness of nature. I'm gonna go join them by the campfire with my cup of coffee, and we're gonna have a great day, and I'll film as much as possible for you guys so you guys can kind of get a feel for what we do. See you in a bit. And so it kind of worked out that we divvied up meal cooking duties. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it all kind of worked out. We took dinners, and Zach and Tracy took breakfast. So yes, there was Monte Cristos, and man, those were delicious and mouthwatering, and I've been having some impure thoughts about them since I've eaten them. And this morning is the blueberry French toast, and I'm so excited to dive into that. And if there's anything like Monte Cristos, there's going to be no complaints. It looks absolutely amazing. So I'm not going to stick around and wait for this to get cold. I'm going to dive right in. All right, we're all packed up. We're gonna go ahead and hit the trail and get on out of here. And we've had an absolutely amazing adventure, and we're just gonna close it off on a high note and get on out of here and go hit the trailhead and put some air back in the tires and get ready to separate. But man, what an amazing adventure it's been with Sunshine State Vikings, and I can't wait to do it again. This has been absolutely exceptional. Hey guys, so I don't know if you've noticed or not, but this is kind of a channel first for us. We're usually out there adventuring alone, and this time we decided to head out with the Sunshine State Vikings, and man, what an incredible adventure it's been, and I'm so pleased and so blessed that they reached out to us and set something up so we could have this adventure together. I'll pass it over to them, but head over to their channel, head over to their Instagram page and kind of check them out. Their perspective of this adventure is probably going to come out in about a month or so, but I highly encourage you to go over there and check out some of their Ocala, Richland, and all their other adventures. There's some great content, fantastic content creators, and if you're not following them already, you're missing out huge. But I'll pass it over to Zach and his wife Tracy from Sunshine State Vikings, kind of give you their take on what their channel is.
So as Brett just mentioned, I'm Zach, this is Tracy. We, along with our 2 Siberian Huskies, are the Sunshine State Vikings. We are just Florida-based adventurers trying to do more of what we love and explore the craft of sharing those stories with anybody and everybody who's interested. And we've had a great adventure out here, and it's just an awesome opportunity to get to adventure with a great family like the DeRoos here. We've had a great time, seriously. Awesome adventure out here in Osceola National Forest.
Hey guys, it's been an incredible adventure, like you said. I don't want to just keep beating a dead horse, but man,
Yeah.
It's been so fun. We hit some awesome trails, and I appreciate you reaching out to us and allowing us to kind of invade your territory a little bit, and we can have this adventure together, and hopefully there's many more to come. But thanks for all the good meals at breakfast time and the coffee for me when I got out of the tent. That's huge.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, anytime. We're looking forward to more.
And cut.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look